It is not correct to teach this geologic column that the layers are different ages. I resent that. I think that's silly. Go ahead. You want to give a response?
Yeah, there's a lot to respond to there, but I'll try my best. So first of all, I think that the fossil record, if you object to the term fossil record, we can just say the ordering of the fossils.
Okay.
Is not sorted by these things of like density, intelligence, mobility, environment. We don't see that kind of sorting. And for example, with clams, we find brachiopods like clams in every layer, not just at the bottom, but we find them in Cretaceous, we find them in Cenozoic, we find them in every layer. And they're sorted by species type, not by body density. All the clams have the same intelligence. They live in the same kinds of environments. We see something similar with plankton. We don't see this kind of sorting based on those four metrics. In terms of where the layers are coming from, there are both volcanic eruptions for the igneous layers. There's weathering, erosion, and deposition for sedimentary layers. And then there's metamorphic processes for the other rocks. Those we can date the formation of the layers. We're not dating the material that makes up the layers. We're dating the formation of the layers themselves. Just like you and I are different ages, but the atoms that make up our bodies are all from the same age. So you're dating the formation of those layers, or dating the births of you and I when you're saying that one is older than the other. And then your other point about all these layers being formed in one big event within about a year. So there are several examples of things that could not have formed in that year, like these enormous limestone deposits. Limestone is not going to be able to form in an event like a flood. It requires very warm, stable, non-turbid water conditions to form. And even then, in the most ideal conditions, you're only going to be able to form a couple inches of limestone deposits in that time. You're not going to be able to form these huge cliffs of limestone that we see. This could not have been formed that quickly in time. And your final point about the polystrate fossils, I would challenge you to find one polystrate fossil, one polystrate tree that is going through layers that the scientific consensus say, oh, this is a Carboniferous layer, here's a Permian, here's a Triassic, and it's going through all of them. Because every time for each of these polystrate examples, when you actually look at what is the consensus date for these different layers that it's going through, it's all within a couple years of each other. It's not like they're saying this layer is millions of years older than this layer, and this fossil is going through them. If you have even one example of a fossil that's going through layers that the scientists are saying are millions of years different in age, I would like to see that, because all the examples I've ever seen of these polystrate fossils are all going through layers that the scientists agree all formed within the same general age